In this era of artificial intelligence, we need human wisdom more than ever. Here's how I think about that big idea. So in positive psychology, a virtue is something that sits between two extremes, and that's what makes it good. So if you go too far in one direction or the other, it's no longer good. We can use the example of courage. So just the right amount of courage is good. Too little courage is cowardice. It's not good. But too much courage is recklessness. Also not good. It gets us hurt or killed. Where you fall along the spectrum of courage is about wisdom. Now let's pick stubbornness. Not good, usually, but it's on the other side of the spectrum from gullibility. Also not good, usually. What sits in the middle is something interesting called intellectual humility. It's not, F you, I'll never change, and it's not, I'll believe anything. It's saying I'm fully willing to change my mind in light of new information when I know I should or when I'm convinced that I should. This is a virtue. So let's take the virtue of patience. They say patience is a virtue. Well, obviously, haste is not good a lot of the time, but also inaction is not good some of the time. You want to err towards the haste side of the patience spectrum when a shark is coming. And why is that? Because sometimes our values come into conflict. Sometimes patience comes into conflict with safety. We value both of these things. But this is when we get moral dilemmas, and this is where human wisdom needs to come into play. Because when a shark is coming for your friend, you have patience on one side and you have safety on the other side. How will you balance these? Will you err towards haste in order to save your friend? Probably. But case by case, these moral dilemmas can get tricky. Now, they say a value is not a value unless it costs you something. This is very true in an era where technology is able to feed us more and more answers, and we can outsource the decision-making to a machine. But we need to direct these machines to weigh what we value, and not just to weigh what the AI assumes we value. And what we value as human beings may change from situation to situation. This is what wisdom is about. Wisdom is about being able to weigh our values from situation to situation rather than being stuck with a rigid formula. Machines run on formulas. So will the machine choose mercy over justice or vice versa? Depending on the situation, how do you program that? Will you choose kindness or transparency, depending on the situation, or prudence versus curiosity? Algorithms are based on rules that don't change, but human beings, we do change. And what we value will change from situation to situation. The answer to all these questions is, it depends. And that is the point.